I'm Jessica Washington, a senior reporter at The Root, and here's what you may not know. Katricia Dotson's parents thought they'd laid her to rest in the 1980s. The 14-year-old had been one of 5 children killed when Philadelphia police dropped a bomb on a city block that housed members of the religious group MOVE. The bombing, which claimed the lives of 11 people in total, would come to be known as the MOVE bombing. Unless you lived in Philadelphia, you may have never heard of the bombing raid. And for many, the incident had faded into a distant, horrific memory. That all changed when reporters uncovered the shocking truth about Dotson's body. Although some of her remains had been returned to her family, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer, most of her remains were being kept at the University of Pennsylvania's Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology. The news sent shockwaves through the Philadelphia community, who were understandably horrified at the idea that Dotson, who still had several living relatives, would be used as a teaching tool for predominantly white affluent students. There is still some debate about who the remains belong to. A curator at the museum denies that the bones belong to Dotson. However, ultimately, the university acknowledged that they belonged to Dotson and pledged to return them to her family. Unfortunately, her mother passed from COVID-19 before that could happen. There is still so much to unpack here, like how in the world law enforcement allowed the bones to be turned over to a museum, even if they were marked as unidentified. Also at issue is whether or not the practice of Ivy League schools keeping the bodies of Black and brown Americans is okay, regardless of who those bodies belong to. If you want to read more about this story, you can check out theroot.com.